The Pittsburgh Steelers walked out of MetLife Stadium in Week 1 with exactly what they came for. A statement victory over Aaron Rodgers' former team and a performance that looked like it had been crafted to remind the rest of the league that Pittsburgh has no interest in being overlooked in 2025. Rodgers, wearing black and gold for the first time in a meaningful game, looked every bit like the quarterback fans had been hoping to see: calm, precise, comfortable, and sharp. His command of the offense was obvious from the opening series, and the version of Rodgers that showed up in New Jersey wasn't the slowed-down, hesitant version of recent years, but rather the calculated field general who has defined much of his career. The night wasn't just about Rodgers, though. The Steelers' win was a complete team effort, and two names in particular helped set the tone: running backs Jaylen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. The backfield had been the subject of plenty of debate during training camp and the preseason, with many wondering how snaps would be divided behind Warren and whether Gainwell would make an immediate impact after joining the team on a one-year deal. Any doubts were put to rest quickly in the season opener, as both backs played crucial roles in helping the offense stay balanced and explosive. Warren, the steady and powerful back who recently secured a 2-year extension worth $12 million guaranteed, continued to show why the Steelers view him as a cornerstone of their offense. His stat line, 37 yards on 11 carries, may not jump off the page, but every touch he had came with purpose. He broke tackles, pushed piles, and kept the offense ahead of schedule. For a team that has built its identity for decades on physical football, Warren looks like a perfect continuation of that tradition. His ability to grind out tough yards ensures that the Steelers won't have to lean solely on Rodgers' arm, and his presence is going to be critical in wearing down defenses over the course of the season. But the real surprise of the night might have been Gainwell, who wasted no time etching his name into the conversation. The former Philadelphia Eagle, signed this offseason to provide depth and competition, looked like far more than just a roster filler. From his carries to his contributions on special teams, Gainwell made an impression on everyone watching. He ran decisively, showed burst when hitting the holes, and perhaps most importantly, displayed the kind of versatility that Tomlin and the coaching staff value so highly. Head coach Mike Tomlin did not hold back when asked about Gainwell's performance. "I'm excited about the new Steelers," Tomlin said after the game. "Whether they are new to the league or new to us, we got a lot of new plays from a lot of new Steelers today, and they are earning their place in Steeler lore with their efforts, and we talked a little about that last night." Tomlin's words captured both the pride of a coach who had seen his team execute and the recognition that Pittsburgh is in the middle of a transition, a team filled with new faces that are already finding ways to contribute. Tomlin went further, addressing not just Gainwell's offensive performance but also his contribution in all three phases of the game. "I don't care about what means you get here, man. You play one play for this organization and you're a Steeler, and so a lot of guys etched their name into that legacy with their efforts and play today," he said. "Can't say enough about Kenny G, that offensive player making a tackle and knocking that ball loose on kickoff. I think Skoranek recovered. It's just an example of making plays in all three phases and being a football player first. That kind of praise isn't handed out lightly by Tomlin." Gainwell showed in one night why he could quickly rise up the depth chart. Listed initially behind Warren and rookie Caleb Johnson, Gainwell now looks like he could carve out a significant role as the season unfolds. Johnson, while talented, is still adjusting to the NFL, and rookies often take time to find their rhythm. If Gainwell continues to deliver steady, impactful performances, the Steelers could have one of the most efficient 1-2 backfield punches in the league. The timing of Gainwell's arrival in Pittsburgh couldn't have been better. The Steelers' offense, for years criticized for being inconsistent or stagnant, looked dynamic and dangerous against the Jets. Rodgers threw for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns, spreading the ball around with the kind of precision that had fans roaring in approval. DK Metcalf, in his Steelers debut, delivered 83 yards on 4 receptions, showcasing the size and strength that make him such a matchup nightmare. Calvin Austin III, finally healthy after an offseason filled with questions about his availability, looked electric. His 70 yards and a game-changing touchdown reminded everyone why the team has been so excited about his potential. Together, the offense looked like something Pittsburgh fans haven't seen in years: balanced, versatile, and capable of striking from multiple angles. The Jets' defense, a unit with talent of its own, simply couldn't keep up. Every time New York tried to adjust, Pittsburgh answered. Rodgers dissected coverages. The running game punished the Jets' front seven, and the receivers made plays in space. The result was an offensive performance that not only won the game but also sent a message to the rest of the AFC: this Steelers team is dangerous. Gainwell's emergence in Week 1 is more than just a nice story about a new player making good on his opportunity. It is a sign of how Pittsburgh is building its roster for sustained success. Depth matters. Injuries happen. And having someone like Gainwell ready to step in ensures the offense won't miss a beat. If Johnson continues to develop slowly, Gainwell can absorb those snaps and provide the kind of veteran steadiness that keeps the backfield productive. And if Warren ever needs a breather or battles through the typical bumps and bruises of a long season, Gainwell has already shown he can carry the load. For fans, the excitement lies in the possibilities. What if Warren and Gainwell both hit their stride? What if Johnson develops later in the year, giving Pittsburgh three viable options in the backfield? Combined with Rodgers' passing attack and the ever-reliable defense, it's not hard to imagine a Steelers team that controls games on the ground and in the air. It's the kind of balanced championship teams thrive on, and it's something that felt missing in recent seasons. Of course, one game doesn't define a season, and Tomlin was quick to remind everyone that consistency will be the key. But there is no denying the spark Gainwell brought in his Steelers debut. He looked like more than just a depth signing. He looked like a player with the potential to be a weapon. And in Pittsburgh, where every player is measured against decades of tradition and legacy, that matters. As the Steelers now turn their attention to the Seattle Seahawks in Week 2, all eyes will be on whether Gainwell can build on his momentum. Another strong showing could cement him as the clear number 2 option behind Warren, and perhaps even give him a chance to push for more snaps as the season progresses. Johnson will continue to have opportunities, but the reality of the NFL is that production earns playing time, and Gainwell has already started to stack evidence in his favor. The win over the Jets was more than just a solid start to the 2025 campaign. It was a glimpse of what this new version of the Steelers can be. Rodgers looked rejuvenated. Metcalf looked dominant. Austin looked explosive. And in the backfield, Warren and Gainwell gave Pittsburgh fans a reason to believe that the ground game will be every bit as effective as the passing attack. Together, they formed a statement: the Steelers' offense isn't just alive, it's thriving. And for a team with its eyes firmly set on the postseason, that might be the biggest takeaway of all.